From Saddleback College in Mission Viejo, it's the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR on a Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR. JJ Buchanan hanging out with you up until 10 o'clock with all of the ladies of the 80s that made that decade so timeless, and a big Mother's Day thank you going out to all the ladies and mothers out there that are listening to the show tonight. I really do appreciate you guys checking out the show. It's just so much fun listening to your conversations online at facebook.com/the 80s experience. All the great requests that we're getting already at 949-582-5727, 949-582 KSBR. The music video for that particular song was inspired by Madonna's favorite Marilyn Monroe movie, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, taken from her Like a Virgin studio album, big top 10 hit for Madonna and Material Girl. June 12th, she's going to be performing live at Humphreys in San Diego. June 13th, she's going to be up on stage at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles with legendary singer-songwriter Ellie Greenwich on the backup vocals on that great tune. One of the biggest hits of her career, Cyndi Lauper, and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Of course they do. 8:10 on the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on FM 88.5 KSBR. Big happy birthday going out to Miss Janet Jackson this upcoming week, having sold over 100 million records during her incredible career. The title track from the studio album that would send her into superstardom from the summer months of 1986. I think you remember this one. Janet Jackson and Control on the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s experience, FM 88.5 KSBR. From Saddleback College in Mission Viejo, it's the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR with JJ Buchanan as we celebrate the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special. Big happy Mother's Day going out to my mom out in Chino Hills. Mom, happy Mother's Day. And a happy Mother's Day going out to Terry in Ladera Ranch. By request tonight, it was their third single in 1986 from their second English language album, Primitive Love. That is Gloria Estefan in Miami Sound Machine for the class of 1986, and Words Get in the Way. It was a tune that was written by her father and brother at the time. She racked up 19 top 40 hits in England and just one more here in the U.S., and that was it. That is Kim Wilde and Kids in America, and we kicked it off from 1986. Janet Jackson, big happy birthday going out to her this week. 1 million selling records sold already, and that helped it out a little bit. Janet Jackson and Control, 8:23 on the 80s experience with JJ Buchanan hanging out with you. If you have a favorite Ladies of the 80s, would love to hear from you at 949-582-5727, 949-582 KSBR, and they're going to be helping to kick off this year's OC Fair in Costa Mesa. Going to be up on stage at the Pacific Amphitheater in Costa Mesa on Sunday, July 14th. The Go-Go's and Our Lips Are Sealed on the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR.
Can you hear that?
From Saddleback College in Mission Viejo, it's the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR and the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR. By request tonight for our Facebook user, Patty in Mission Viejo, it's a song about swapping lives with other people from 1985, Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill and Make a Deal with God. By request tonight for Bob and Ez in Laguna Niguel, June 8th, she's going to be performing live at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. Her breakout hit from the summer months of 1980, Pat Benatar and Heartbreaker. From her 1981 Belladonna album, she's going to be joining the rest of the crew of Fleetwood Mac on May 25th at the Hollywood Bowl, and she had an amazing solo career during the late 1980s. Stevie Nicks with Edge of 17, one of my personal favorites from her. 8:43 on a Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s experience on FM 88.5 KSBR. If you have a favorite lady of the 80s, I would love to hear from you at 949-582-5727, 949-582 KSBR, and you can always join us on Facebook at facebook.com/the 80s experience. Well, she is the owner of the biggest, most successful #1 hit of the entire decade of the 1980s. Big #1 hit for over 10 solid weeks for Australia's very own Olivia Newton-John with Physical on the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on FM 88.5 KSBR. You know it's got to be from the 80s.
Saying all the things that I know you.
From Saddleback College in Mission Viejo, it's the 80s Experience on FM 88.5 KSBR, celebrating all the great mothers out there on a happy Mother's Day weekend as we celebrate the ladies of the 80s. And I could not do the first hour without that one. And a big help from Amy in Mission Viejo that picked that great song. It was a tune that was written for the film biography of Muhammad Ali, the greatest. It was originally recorded by George Benson in 1977, but it became a #1 hit and a million national seller for Miss Whitney Houston 10 years later. Whitney Houston with The Greatest Love of All. Her real name is Leslie Wonderman from New York City, but we knew her as Taylor Dane from 1987, Tell It to My Heart, and it was #1 for 10 solid weeks, the biggest #1 hit by a female artist for the entire decade of the 1980s, and we had her on the show a few months ago, Olivia Newton-John with Physical. 8:57 on the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s Experience on FM 88.5 KSBR. Bar request tonight off the request lines at 949-582-5727, 949-582-KSBR for Monica and San Clemente, taken from the Ralph Macchio movie The Karate Kid from the summer months of 1984. We all remember this one, I'm sure. Bananarama, Cruel Summer, as we continue with the Ladies of the 80s Mother's Day special on the 80s Experience on FM 88.5 KSBR.